What's up people, welcome to my channel once again. As you have already watched my previous video about the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship and what are the process and steps to apply. So today's video will be about the documents, that what are the documents you need. So for the Hungarian scholarship you need two types of documents, one for the Hungarian government and one for your sending partner, like for Bangladesh is the Bangladesh Education Ministry. So I'm gonna tell you all the required documents to apply for the scholarship. So firstly comes the Hungarian government documents. So first one is the online application form. So as I've already told you in my previous video that you have to go to the online website and you have to fill up a form there about your details and everything. So this is the first one you need. And the second document is the motivation letter. So for your own major, because you have to apply to the two universities in the online system, and so for these two universities, for the chosen two major that you have selected in the online application system, you have to write a motivation letter on that major. Like if you apply for the mechanical engineering, you have to write a letter about the motivation letter about the mechanical engineering, and if you apply for the civil engineering or any other engineering or any subject, biology, business, you have to write a motivation letter on that. And the third document is the language proficiency certificate. So well, it's not mandatory to have IELTS because you can prove your language proficiency with other documents as well. If your previous language of instruction in your school was English, like for cadet college, for me I was in cadet college, so I submitted that paper as well with IELTS. So it's not mandatory to have IELTS to do the IELTS for the language proficiency. So you can prove your language proficiency with other documents as well. But to be nominated by your government, like for Bangladesh Ministry, you must have to have IELTS because it's really rare that someone got selected without IELTS. So please keep in mind, for the Hungarian side, IELTS is not mandatory. You can prove your language proficiency with any documents you want. But for the nomination, you must have to have IELTS. So keep in mind that the difference between the Hungarian government requirements and the Bangladesh Ministry requirements. And the next one is the graduation certificates and your academic transcripts. Like for the bachelor degrees applicants, you have to submit your certificates of SSC, HSC, or maybe you can submit your JSC certificates as well. And you have to submit the transcripts of records like your mark sheet that you have got in the SSC and HSC exams. And this is for undergraduate. And for the masters, you have to submit the graduation certificate from your university. Well, like because I didn't do my bachelor yet, so I cannot tell exactly what are the documents for the masters, but what I can suggest is like definitely it must be your graduation certificate. So that's what you need for the master's applicant. So next you need the passport, like the copy of identification. So you must need a passport for that. Well, for the Hungarian side, if you don't have a passport, you can apply with your national ID card, but before August they will give you a deadline. So before that deadline you must have to submit your passport, but during application you don't need the passport. And well, it's the same case like the IELTS certificate or the IELTS exam. Like for the Hungarian side, you don't have to have passport, like for like it's not a mandatory something, but for the ministry you must have to have passport to apply. So please keep note that for the ministry you must have to have passport to apply, but in Hungarian side you can apply without passport. So I guess it's better to have your passport before applying. So the next document is the acceptance of the statement for application. It's an online something. Before you are going to apply, you will see that I agree to the statement and I agree to all the conditions that had been read. Like you will, like before any website you sign, you see something like agree to all. So this is like the simple thing. You don't have to do anything. It just during your online application, you can just check the box I agree and submit, and that's all. And the last one is the medical certificate. So for the Hungarian scholarship, they have a specific format for the medical certificate. So you must need to submit that medical certificate during application. So I will give you the link in the description that where you can get the format for the certificates. You can download it from the website and fill it from the doctor. So that's gonna help you a lot. Like you can fill it from the doctor and you can do the test and everything that has been indicated in the medical certificate. You can sign it by the doctor of your locality, of your hospital. So That's all the documents for the Hungarian side for the bachelor and the masters. Well, for the PhD applicants, you need to have a little bit more documents because it's a higher degree. So for the PhD applicants, you need all the documents that has been discussed in the previous, like for the masters and the bachelor. And as an extra, you need to submit a research plan, like on which topic you're gonna have your research. So you have to submit that research plan, and you have to submit 2 recommendation letters from your previous university or supervisors, or maybe your research supervisors. So you have to submit those 2 recommendation letters from your previous institution, and you have to submit a statement from the supervisor. So before applying, you have to go to a website that has been given by the Hungarian government. So I will put that in the description box, so you can go and check it out, and you can find the supervisors according to your major, according to the university. So you can find your suitable supervisor, and you can apply to the supervisor, and they will give you an acceptance letter, like yes, that supervisor is willing to take you as he is researcher, or maybe like a research assistant. So that's what you need extra as a PhD applicant. Well, I have already discussed about the documents that you need for the Hungarian government side. So the next one comes for the ministry or the sending partner for all the countries. So I'm going to discuss about the Bangladesh ministry, like what are the documents you need for applying to the scholarship. So for the Bangladesh ministry, for the bachelor applicants, for the undergraduate applicants, you need to submit an online application form, and there's a link that has been given from the ministry. I will put it in the description, so you can go to the link and fill up that online form. And next you need the IELTS certificate, or the language proficiency certificate. So you have to submit that language so you have to submit the language proficiency score as well for the IELTS or the TOEFL as well. So I forgot to tell you something, that not only the IELTS is acceptable, both IELTS and TOEFL is acceptable for Bangladesh ministry, so you can submit any score that you want. So the next you have to submit your SSC and HSC certificates, and you have to submit your mark sheets as well, that is the transcripts of records. So you have to submit both of them for the SSC and HSC, and the JSC you don't need it because the ministry does not want it. And next you have to submit the police clearance certificate, because ministry already said that you must have to have the police clearance certificate before application. So you need to get that. You need to apply to the online application form for the police clearance, and maybe it will take 7 to 10 days to get the police clearance certificate. So before applying, you must have to have this police clearance certificate. And lastly, the passport. So as I told you that you must have to have your passport before applying to the scholarship, because with an NID you cannot apply, because ministry requires to have you the passport as a mandatory document. So you must have to have your passport before applying. And for the PhD and the master's applicant, you need to have all the documents same as the bachelor applicant, and on top of the extra, so you need to have a research plan, and you need to have a research title as well, you need to indicate in the online application. And you need to show your work experience if you have any, what was your title and which company did you work. So if you have worked in any company, you can show them the work experience as well to the ministry. I hope that will help you to be selected in the nomination process. So I guess you already have the idea about the documents in details, that what are the documents you need. So please watch the videos once more, or maybe 2 or 3 times, and note down what are the documents you need, and after that you start collecting those documents and submit, or according to the Hungarian government side as well as to the Ministry of Bangladesh as well. And remember that for the Bangladesh ministry, besides the online application, you must have to submit all the documents in hard copies, and the deadline is 15th of January. So you have to have all the documents submitted in the online application. Also you have to submit the hard copies to the ministry. And yeah, I forgot to tell you something, that you have to submit one passport size photo as well with the application to the hard copies. So you have to attach that passport size photo as well of yourself, like of you basically. So that's all the detailed documents that you have to submit or you need for the scholarship process. So the next step comes the nomination and the interview and the entrance exam. Definitely I'm gonna make videos on that as well, and stay tuned with my videos and with this playlist, because I'm gonna publish this Hungarian government scholarship playlist. So every week or every 2 weeks I'm gonna upload all the videos when it time comes. So before application, whatever you need, I already gave you everything. So the steps for the application, also for the documents. So keep on working on your documents and make all the documents right and perfect, so that there is no mistake in the documents, because maybe for one mistake you'll not be selected. So please be careful about the documents. And if you have any question, any doubts and anything, you can ask in the comment. Maybe in the later videos I will make a frequently asked question and I will answer all of your questions. So do not forget to comment on my videos and subscribe to my channel to watch more videos about the application process and to watch the next videos. So stay tuned until then, and good luck on your application process, and have a good day. See you.